here in the Canarsie area for the 59th Assembly District.
And would you mind spelling your name
Sure,
for me?
it's S like Sam, E, D, D like David, I, Ida, O, Oscar.
So what do you think of the choice of David Weprin to be your Democratic nominee?
Well, absolutely think that of all of the choices that were available and people that were spoken of, I think that David's probably the one that we most are appreciative of. Actually, in Brooklyn, we considered the candidate for Brooklyn. But the district is pretty much, this district has always been a Brooklyn and Queens district for over 50 years. And it shifted in the last census, and we're giving most of it to Queens. So if we had to pick a favorite son from Queens that we'd be happy with, he was our choice. And we're very pleased that he's going to be representing this area of the world.
And what do you think that the chances are that the seat is actually in existence in 2013?
Well, actually, if I'm basing it on history, I would tell you that don't bet on this district disappearing. Because just with the new population, it's going to take about 70,000 people per district this year, in congressional district, that has to be added. And I'm just not believing that this district will be this part of the district will be just solely a Brooklyn district. If you look at the candidates and the various congressional members that we have now, it's kind of hard to see this whole end of the world. And we're talking about 200,000 people in the Brooklyn side of this district that have to be placed someplace. So we think it'll still be a Brooklyn-Queens district, and if it is, we're looking forward to seeing David being our congressman for a very long time.
So you don't view him as a placeholder candidate?
I've never seen anyone that's going to be in this district, and for what little I know about politics after 40 years, I would say that I see this as a district that's going to continue in some fashion. And we may have David move into Canarsie with us, but I'll tell him we'll give him a very nice place to live, and we'll keep him around a while.
Did you guys support him when he ran for comptroller?
Actually, we didn't support him, but that's because we had a favorite son on this end of the world, so we didn't. But he would have been a choice of. He was supported, by the way, by the 45th Assembly District, which and he was a selection for them. It wasn't about his qualifications for the position. It was about our relationships with the other candidates that existed in the race at that time. So, but the one thing that everyone could always say about David is that he's a nice guy. He's the kind. He certainly doesn't come across with the arrogance of a Weiner, but very frankly, he's going to be a welcome addition to our elected officials here in Brooklyn. And I'm really excited about the idea that he'll work with us well, that he'll represent the people well, and best of all, in my eyes, he's going to be someone who's going to listen to what we offer in ways of advice and help. And he'll be someone who'll work with us well, and that's an important factor in our part of the world.
And how is he different than Anthony Weiner?
Well, I think David's a much softer person, but that doesn't mean he's less effective. I think that what he brings to the table is a warmth, and in his own way, a sophisticated kind of intellect that most people don't recognize. I mean, David's one of those quiet guys. But when he wants to do a job, he goes out and he does it well. And he comes from a long history of elected officials. His father, if you recall, was the Speaker of the New York State Assembly. And I was surprised that he wanted to give up the Assembly since they have such a rich history there. But you know what? If he did so, it's with the idea that he's going to be really good for us. And I'm happy about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.